When it comes to Marvel's She-Hulk writer Dana Schwartz, targeting South Park is probably one of the least egregious things that she's done in a while. I mean, if you look at the quotes in front of you, for example, you'll notice one type of theme. That theme, of course, it involves buzzwords, it involves current year thinking, but it also involves people with a specific shade, specific equipment. Yeah, those people being targeted. That's what we see with South Park. That's what we see with this mindset, and well, that kind of stuff. I think it says something not only about the person, but about the company that employs it. So hey there, so today I want to return to that wonderful world that Marvel employs. And I have to say that when I see people like this in front of you, I am never ever surprised by the things they do. I mean, recently, this person, they decided to attack South Park. And like I said, I'm going to link this in, and then I'll talk about things that they've brought up in the past, because this way of thinking, it's not about South Park, but rather, in my opinion, it's about the people behind it. So here are the statements about South Park, and my God, I'll have to say a few things while we go through here. In retrospect, it seems impossible to overstate the cultural damage done by South Park. That's right, cultural damage. Really soak that in. The show that portrayed earnestness as the only sin and taught that mockery is the ultimate inoculation against all criticism. Mockery basically is how you deal with all the problems out there. You laugh at them instead of dealing with them in other ways. But hey, these people, they don't have to worry about that, because you know they've never tasted the other end of, say, a fist coming at them, or someone trying to ruin their job. You know, the things that these people do. Continuing, smugness is not the same as intelligence. Have you looked in the mirror there? Maybe you should learn that lesson. Provocation isn't the same as bravery. Again, thinking that you're brave because you do things like this, yeah, truly. The lesser of the two evils aren't the same. It seems like South Park has been trying to reckon with this. I admit I haven't been watching the show in recent seasons, but I'm fascinated to see this. And you can see the article here. South Park issues a rare apology for Man Bear Pig. South Park creators Matt Stone and Trey Parker make amends for a diss that is more than a decade old. To be clear, it goes on, I don't blame the show itself as much as I do the generation of boys. You notice that? The boys there, who internalized it into their personality, which maybe isn't the show's fault. So she goes after an entire generation of boys, an entire generation of men, because that's the kind of person that it is. Shows you something there. Some very normal, well-adjusted South Park fans. You notice them going after people because they say something about this. Don't be upset because you're a woman and therefore genetically unable to be funny. Oh my God, I'm so upset by that here. My point was that South Park seemed to teach that it was always cooler to be reactionary and contrarian, and anyone who criticizes anything is offended, and that's the real problem. Wonder if that's the message these fans absorb, and you can see that here. Comment, blue check marks deserve the rope. Can you make an argument without being naturally stupid? There. People say they make fun of everything. That's my point. South Park is a political show, but one whose message is both sides are equally terrible. So the only correct thing is to do nothing while mocking it all from your position of intellectual superiority. The show doesn't tell you that there is no answer out there. The show makes fun of the fact that people, they think they have these answers and absolutes. You have an answer on this polarity. You have an answer on that polarity. But you know what? Most people, they exist somewhere in the middle, somewhere away from blue check marks. This smug superiority and callous disregard for boys and men, well, that's the language of Twitter. That's why you have 44K likes, 6K retweets off the beginning, 10.8K likes, 915 retweets off the other portion, because this is allowed there. This stuff trends there. It's not something that would get shut down. If you reversed it, it definitely would, but no. I mean, here, that's the kind of stuff that gets current year applause. It's the same thing like you see here. Oh, let me apologize to you, Al Gore, because you didn't sound like a raving lunatic. And when you get to the stuff about boys, you notice that pushes this number back up. I mean, that says something here. When you get to that says, ooh, so stunning, so brave. As I've said many times, this is a socially transmitted disease, an STD of the E variety, the current year clap, where people, man, so stunning. So stunning indeed. You can tell that she's really proud of the fact that this gets trending too. I mean, you can see it in this exchange. Dana, look what you've done. Oh no, here. No longer just in Manhattan. You've broken through to New York bubble for better or worse. Man, again, so stunning, so brave. The people following this seethe politics too. I left the South Park fandom when I heard Matt and Trey proudly announce they don't vote because it doesn't matter, and all politicians are the same. I realized that attitude seeped into every character, every episode. You can see this as well, this political stance in the things that she's thrown out there. I'll just leave that up for a second. You can read that yourself. Yeah, that totally seems normal, as someone else says. So normal, at least on Twitter, that pretty much is. Now, Data Racer 117 collects the true thoughts of this person, while they really go after Matt and Trey and other folks, and you can see that, again, specific shade, specific equipment, over and over and over. Matt and Trey are rich white guys, and they convinced a generation of scared, vulnerable young men that irony will never hurt them. Irony will never hurt you. What a lie. What a lie. You know what? Screw it. No novels by white men in high school for the next 20 years. And you can see, again, language of Twitter, 2,354 likes. She's also going and pushing her book with this too, and you can see what her book is here. The White Man's Guide to White Male Writers of the Western Canon. Fun times. The next one, our ideals of what the important books are wasn't built in a vacuum. They were created back in time when books by women and POC were inherently thought of as lesser. The gatekeepers were white men who were biased in favor of their own perspective. The next one down here, bottom left, I am more scared of angry young white men in trench coats than I am of ISIS. Wow, what a statement. What a statement indeed. Next one, the literary canon as it exists is ist and patriarchal, and it keeps reinforcing itself. And then the last one on this. I'm just warning all of you now that when the White Man's Guide comes out in November, I'm going to start tweeting some very provocative literary takes just because it's real funny to me when threatened white men get very mad. You know, because you'd get banned for that if you were anything more. Then, as icing on that proverbial cake, she goes out and attacks people that like Star Wars. You know, people that go out and buy a Disney product. And wait a minute, she's employed by Marvel, which is a subsidiary of Disney. The Last Jedi is objectively the best Star Wars movie, the most cohesive, the best looking, and the most interesting ideas raised, and not liking it is the world's biggest cell phone. You notice how many people note that? Because again, that is the language of Twitter. What about the white men in the Star Wars? Yeah, me, 0% interest. Next one, Rian Johnson had to make that movie with one hand tied behind his back, and he delivered a visual feast. You ungrateful dweebs. So you know what? You're all dweebs out there. Next one. Me jamming out to the tune of Dummies Being Wrong. Fun times there. Next one. All of the people writing me incredibly detailed and elaborate emails about why I'm wrong about The Last Jedi don't seem to understand how few F's I give about them. You know, because of course, people that care about that product for Disney shouldn't be treated with respect. And lastly, me every time the Joker director does an interview. Don't talk, you know, because just go out and attack because of current year. So again, this isn't really about South Park. That's not the most egregious thing this person does. What they do is they go out, they attack people because, again, specific qualifiers, specific qualities. And some of those things, they actually lead to business doorstep. Maybe you should follow through too. And when you're walking toward that, start walking the other way. Wallet closed, saying, hey, I hear you and I'm going somewhere else. But anyway, you tell me what you think about this. Let me end this too by thanking you for your time here. You know, a lot of people do not do that, and I really want to do that. I mean, you make these endeavors possible. If you want to subscribe to the channel, do so. You know the drill about sharing and all of that. But me, I just want to thank you for being here. Again, I do appreciate it. I appreciate everything you allow with this. This stuff is fun. I think more people should just sit back and enjoy it. So anyway, I won't monopolize your time. I just again wanted to say thank you. I do appreciate you, and hopefully you catch the next video. Thanks.